In a quiet kitchen corner, a vibrant green plant flourishes without a speck of soil. Its roots float freely in water, revealing the magic of hydroponics gardening, reimagined for the modern home. Once thought to be the realm of high-tech labs, hydroponics is now accessible to anyone with a jar and some nutrients. Grown-ups everywhere are discovering that soil-free gardening is simple, rewarding, and perfect for small spaces. Hydroponics means faster growth, bigger harvests, and less mess, no weeds, no heavy soil, just pure plant joy. The best part, you don't need fancy equipment. Sometimes the simplest, most passive methods work in harmony with nature. Welcome to a new era of growing right on your windowsill. Scientific research backs it up. Hydroponics delivers faster growth and bigger harvests. Enjoy frequent fresh harvests while reducing your environmental footprint. Hydroponics is smart, sustainable, and ready for your home. Perhaps one of the most appealing aspects of hydroponics for the modern adult is its sheer cleanliness and simplicity. It offers a way to reconnect with the fundamental processes of nature without the mess and physical labor that traditionally accompany gardening. Because the entire system is soil-free, you can say goodbye to many of the most common gardening hassles for good. There will be no more tedious afternoons spent on your knees pulling out stubborn weeds. You can forget about the frustration of dealing with burrowing pests or soil-borne fungi that can ruin your crop, and most pleasantly, there will be no more lugging heavy, cumbersome bags of potting soil and compost through your clean home. This creates a gardening experience that is more elegant, more accessible, and also about mental clarity. Hydroponic systems are often straightforward and logical, making the growing process easy to understand and manage. You are not dealing with the complex and often unpredictable variables of soil biology. Instead, you are working with a controlled environment where the inputs are clear and the results are directly observable. This can be incredibly empowering for a beginner, as it demystifies the art of growing plants and builds confidence quickly. You can see the roots grow, you can measure the nutrients, and you can watch the leaves unfurl in response to your care, providing a clear and satisfying feedback loop. For the many grown-ups who may have felt that gardening was too complicated, too messy, or simply too time-consuming to fit into their lives, hydroponics offers a genuine breath of fresh air, and it is quite literally a source of fresh air, as the very plants you are cultivating will work diligently to improve your indoor air quality by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing fresh oxygen. This is gardening on your own terms, a method that is simple, clean, and surprisingly fun. It strips away the barriers and invites you to engage with nature in a new and profoundly rewarding way, bringing both beauty and healthy sustenance into your life with remarkable ease. In the vast and sometimes complex world of hydroponics, there exists a method so brilliantly simple that it feels almost like magic. This is the Kratky Method, a technique that stands as a testament to elegant design and working with nature, not against it. Named after its creator, Dr. B.A. Kratky, a horticulturist at the University of Hawaii, this method strips hydroponics down to its absolute essentials. It is a completely passive, non-circulating system that allows a plant to care for itself throughout its life cycle. There are no whirring pumps, no gurgling aerators, and absolutely no need for electricity, making it one of the most accessible ways to begin your hydroponic journey. The core concept is wonderfully straightforward. A plant, typically sustainability and productivity, inviting everyone to grow their own food with ease. The true genius of the Kratky method lies in its understanding and application of a plant's fundamental needs. In the wild, plants develop complex root systems with different functions. Some roots anchor the plant and absorb water and nutrients from the soil, while others, closer to the surface, are responsible for absorbing oxygen. Dr. Kratky's system brilliantly mimics this natural division of labor in a single static container. When you first set up the system, the bottom portion of the plant's roots are submerged in the nutrient solution. This is where the plant will get all of its hydration and food, allowing it to begin its growth journey in a rich, nourishing environment. As the plant grows, it actively drinks the nutrient solution, causing the water level in the reservoir to gradually drop. This is where the magic happens. The receding waterline exposes the upper portion of the root system to the air inside the container. This newly created space, known as the air gap, becomes a humid, oxygen-rich zone. The roots that are now hanging in this gap, which are often fuzzier and are known as oxygen roots, take over the vital function of respiration. The plant, in essence, creates its own perfect environment, automatically balancing its need for water, nutrients, and oxygen without any mechanical intervention. This passive dance between the plant and its environment is what makes the Kratky method so unique and effective. The system self-aerates. There is no need for an air stone or pump to bubble oxygen into the water, because the plant itself manages its own oxygen supply by consuming the water. This elegant, self-regulating feedback loop is the reason why you don't need to change or even refill the nutrient solution for the entire growth cycle of many fast-growing plants. You simply provide enough water and nutrients at the very beginning to last the plant until it reaches maturity and is ready for harvest. This self-sufficiency is a game changer for anyone new to hydroponics. It removes the anxiety of constant monitoring and the complexity of managing pumps and timers. The plant's own biological processes drive the system forward. You can witness this fascinating process firsthand by using a clear container like a mason jar, covered with a dark sleeve to block light from the roots. Peeking inside, you can observe the water level dropping and the distinct root structures developing over time, the long, smooth nutrient roots reaching down into the water, and the fine, feathery oxygen roots thriving in the humid air above. It's a captivating, living science experiment unfolding on your countertop. Getting started with the Kratky method is incredibly simple and requires only a few basic materials, many of which you may already have at home or can acquire for a very low cost. Your primary component is a light-proof container to serve as the reservoir. A wide-mouth mason jar is a popular choice for small plants like herbs. You can simply paint it black or wrap it in dark paper or fabric to prevent algae growth. For larger plants like lettuce, a 5-gallon food-safe bucket works perfectly. You will also need a net pot, which is a small mesh-like basket that will hold your plant, and a lid for your container with a hole cut to securely fit the net pot. The next step is to prepare your seedling and the nutrient solution. For your plant, it's best to start with a seedling that has already developed a small root system. These are often grown in a sterile medium like rockwool cubes, cocoa coir plugs, or a small piece of sponge. Gently place the seedling and its growing medium into the net pot, ensuring the roots can dangle freely through the bottom. Now prepare your hydroponic nutrient solution by following the instructions on the packaging. This usually involves mixing a small, measured amount of concentrated liquid or powdered nutrients into your water. It's as easy as making a glass of lemonade from a mix. With your components ready, it's time for assembly. Fill your container with the prepared nutrient solution, leaving a small gap of about an inch at the top. Now place the lid on the container and carefully set your net pot with the seedling into the hole. The key here is to ensure that only the very bottom tips of the roots or the bottom of the rockwool cube are touching the surface of the water. You do not want to submerge the entire root system or the plant's crown, as this can lead to rot. This initial setup provides the plant with immediate access to water while allowing the upper roots plenty of air from the start. Once assembled, your work is essentially done. Place your Kratky jar in a location where it will receive adequate light, either a sunny windowsill that gets at least 6 hours of direct sunlight per day, or under a simple LED grow light. From this point on, the plant will take over. As it grows and consumes the water, it will create the necessary air gap for its roots to breathe. For a head of lettuce, the initial reservoir of water is often enough to last its entire life until harvest. You can simply watch it grow, marveling at the simplicity and effectiveness of this brilliant hands-off hydroponic method. While the Kratky method is remarkably versatile, it truly excels when used to grow certain types of plants, particularly those that grow quickly and do not require a massive amount of water over their lifetime. Leafy greens are the undisputed champions of the Kratky system. Varieties of lettuce, such as butterhead, romaine, and looseleaf types, thrive in this passive environment. A single head of lettuce can often be grown to full maturity in a 1-gallon or larger container without ever needing a refill. Other greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula also perform exceptionally well, providing you with a continuous supply of fresh, healthy salad ingredients. Aromatic herbs are another perfect match for this simple setup. Imagine having a fresh single harvest or fast-growing plants, the Kratky method can also be adapted for some smaller fruiting plants, though it requires a bit more attention. Plants like cherry tomatoes, chili peppers, and even some varieties of bush beans can be grown this way. However, because these plants have a much longer life cycle and consume significantly more water, especially during their flowering and fruiting stages, you will likely need to top off the reservoir periodically. When you do refill, it's crucial to only add water or a half-strength nutrient solution and to never raise the water level back to the top, as this would drown the oxygen roots that have formed in the air gap. It is important to note that the Kratky method is generally not recommended for large thirsty plants like indeterminate tomatoes or cucumbers, nor for root vegetables like carrots or potatoes, which require a solid medium to develop properly. The system is designed for elegance and simplicity, making it the ideal choice for growers who want to focus on leafy greens and herbs. By choosing the right plants, you're setting yourself up for guaranteed success. You will be amazed at the quality and quantity of produce you can harvest from such a wonderfully simple, passive and self-sustaining hydroponic system. Although the Kratky method is famously low maintenance, a few simple tips and troubleshooting pointers can help ensure your plants thrive and you achieve the best possible results. One of the most critical factors for success is preventing algae growth. Algae are microscopic plants that also love light and nutrients, and they can quickly contaminate your reservoir, competing with your plant for food and oxygen. The solution is simple. Your container must be completely light-proof. If you are using a clear glass jar, make sure to paint it with opaque paint. Black is best on the outside. Or cover it with a thick sleeve made of dark fabric, paper, or aluminum foil to block all light from reaching the nutrient solution. Another key to a healthy Kratky garden touch the water at the beginning is crucial. If too much of the root system is submerged, the plant can suffer from a lack of oxygen and develop root rot, a condition from which it may not recover. If you see your plant wilting even though it has plenty of water, this could be the cause. By taking care to block light, provide adequate illumination, mix nutrients correctly, and set the initial water level properly, you will avoid the most common pitfalls and be well on your way to a successful and rewarding harvest with your set-it-and-forget-it Kratky garden. Next on our journey into the world of simple hydroponics, we encounter another elegantly passive method, the Wick system. This technique is perhaps the most intuitive and familiar of all, drawing its inspiration from a principle that has been used for centuries. Picture a classic oil lamp where a simple cloth wick draws fuel upward to sustain a flame. Now imagine your plant as that gentle flame, being consistently and quietly nourished by a wick that delivers life-giving water and nutrients directly to its roots. This is the essence of a wick hydroponic system, a method that marries ancient wisdom with modern gardening in the most beautifully simple way. It is a true self-watering wonder. In this setup, a piece of absorbent material, which acts as the wick, forms a bridge between your plant and a separate reservoir below, filled with nutrient solution. One end of the wick is threaded into the plant's growing medium, while the other end dangles down into the reservoir. There are no pumps, no timers, and no moving parts to manage. The entire system is powered by a quiet natural force, making it completely passive and silent. It is a wonderfully low-tech approach that proves you don't need complex machinery to create a thriving garden. This method is all about gentle, consistent care delivered automatically. Because of its straightforward design and lack of any need for electricity, the Wick system is consistently ranked among the lowest cost and easiest hydroponic setups to create. Systems to create is a basic wick, recommending it as a foundational technique for anyone interested in growing plants without soil. Even NASA has explored advanced wicking systems for the formidable challenge of growing plants in the zero-gravity environment of space. On the International Space Station, special wicks are used to reliably move water to plant roots. If this passive principle is trusted for gardening in orbit, you can certainly be confident in its ability to work wonders on your kitchen shelf. The quiet magic that powers the entire wick system is a fundamental scientific principle known as capillary action. This is the same phenomenon that allows a paper towel to soak up a spill or enables trees to draw water from the ground all the way up to their highest leaves. Capillary action is the ability of a liquid to flow in narrow spaces without the assistance of, or even in opposition to, external forces like gravity. It happens because of the interplay between the liquid's surface tension and the adhesive forces between the liquid and the material it is in contact with. In our case, the liquid is the nutrient solution, and the material is the absorbent wick. The wick itself is made of a porous material composed of many tiny fibers, creating a network of microscopic tubes. When the end of the wick is placed in the nutrient solution, the water molecules are more attracted to the fibers of the wick, adhesion, than they are to each other, cohesion. This attraction pulls the water up into the tiny spaces within the wick, and as those molecules move up, they pull other water molecules along with them due to surface tension. This process continues, causing the water to climb up the wick, defying gravity until it reaches the growing medium in the pot above, delivering a slow and steady supply of moisture. This gentle and continuous delivery of water is what makes the system so effective for many plants. The growing medium in the pot, such as perlite, vermiculite or coconut, You want the top part of the wick to be coiled or spread out in the bottom third of the pot where the main root ball will be. Fill the pot with a loose, absorbent, soil-free growing medium like a mix of perlite and coco coir. These materials hold moisture well and provide good aeration for the roots. Place your seedling or plant into the pot, making sure its roots are in contact with the medium near the wick. Finally, prepare your hydroponic nutrient solution according to the package directions and fill your reservoir. Place your prepared plant pot on top of or suspended over the reservoir, ensuring the tail of the wick is submerged in the nutrient solution. The wick will immediately begin to draw the solution upward, moistening the growing medium. All that is left to do is place your new self-watering planter in a spot with adequate light. Your Wick system is now active, silently and efficiently taking care of your plant's watering needs. It is a testament to how simple, effective and accessible hydroponic gardening can truly be. While a Wick system is remarkably self-sufficient, following a few best practices will ensure your plants remain healthy and your garden thrives. The most important ongoing task is to monitor the water level in your reservoir. As the plant drinks and water evaporates, the level will drop. You will need to top it off every week or two, depending on the size of your plant and the ambient conditions. It is crucial to never let the reservoir run completely dry, as this will break the capillary action and the wick will need to be resaturated to start working again. Keeping the reservoir consistently filled is the key to consistent growth. Over time, as water is wicked up and consumed by the plant, mineral salts and nutrient residues can accumulate in the growing medium. This buildup can eventually become toxic to the plant's roots. To prevent this, it is a good practice to periodically flush the system. Every 4 to 6 weeks, simply remove the plant pot from the reservoir and gently pour fresh, plain water through the growing medium, allowing it to drain out completely. This will wash away any excess salt buildup. After flushing, you can empty the old solution from your reservoir and refill it with a fresh batch of hydroponic nutrients. Choosing the right growing medium is also vital for the success of a wick system. You need a medium that is lightweight, highly absorbent, and provides good aeration. Heavy materials like sand or garden soil are not suitable, as they can become waterlogged and suffocate the roots. The best choices are soil-free mixes, with a 50-50 blend of perlite and coco coir being a favorite among many hydroponic gardeners. This mixture retains moisture beautifully without becoming compacted, creating the perfect environment for the wick to do its job and for roots to grow healthy and strong. Lastly, always start with a healthy wick. Before you assemble your system, it is a good idea to pre-soak your wick material in water to ensure it is fully saturated. This helps kickstart the capillary action process immediately. If you notice your growing medium seems dry even when the reservoir is full, your wick may be clogged or may not be making good contact with the medium. By keeping an eye on your reservoir, flushing the system occasionally, using the right medium and ensuring your wick is working properly, you will create a stable and nurturing environment where your plants can flourish with minimal effort on your part. Now, for our final stop on this tour of beginner-friendly hydroponics, we are ready to introduce a little bit of simple technology to achieve truly remarkable results. Let us welcome the deep water culture system, more commonly and affectionately known as the DWEC or bubbler system. If you have ever owned a home aquarium and marveled at the stream of bubbles rising from an air stone, then you already understand the fundamental principle behind this powerful method. DWC represents a slight step up from the completely passive systems we have discussed, but it remains wonderfully straightforward and is a favorite among home hobbyists for one simple reason. It facilitates explosive plant growth. The setup is elegantly simple. In a typical DWC system, a plant is placed in a net pot, which is then set into a hole in the lid of a container, most often a standard 5-gallon bucket. This bucket serves as the reservoir and is filled with a nutrient-rich water solution. The plant's roots hang down from the net pot, dangling directly into this solution, where they have continuous unrestricted access to all the water and food they could ever desire. The key addition that sets DWC apart is a small, inexpensive aquarium air pump connected via a tube to an air stone, which is placed at the bottom of the bucket. This pump runs continuously, creating a constant stream of bubbles that oxygenate the water. This simple addition of active aeration is a complete game changer for the plants. Despite the inclusion of a pump, the DWC method is still widely celebrated for its simplicity and ease of use, making it incredibly beginner-friendly. The University of Minnesota Extension Service notes that deep water culture is the most common type of hydroponic system for small-scale growers and is often considered the least expensive and easiest to maintain and expand. This endorsement highlights why DWC has become the go-to method for so many people gardening at home. It strikes the perfect balance between low complexity and high performance, delivering significant rewards for a minimal investment of effort and equipment. The appeal of the DWC system lies in this powerful The secret behind the astonishingly fast growth rates seen in deep water culture systems lies in one crucial element: oxygen. Just like humans, plants need to breathe to live. While their leaves perform gas exchange in the air, their roots also require a substantial amount of oxygen to carry out vital metabolic processes such as absorbing nutrients and water. In traditional soil, this oxygen is found in the tiny air pockets between soil particles. In a static water system, however, the roots can quickly deplete the dissolved oxygen, leading to suffocation and root rot. The DWC system brilliantly solves this problem with its constant stream of bubbles. The air pump and air stone work together to continuously infuse the nutrient solution with dissolved oxygen. As the bubbles rise through the water, they create agitation and break the surface tension, dramatically increasing the rate at which oxygen dissolves into the liquid. This creates a hyper-oxygenated environment for the plant's roots, essentially giving them an unlimited supply of air. This oxygen-rich bath allows the roots to function at their absolute peak efficiency, absorbing water and mineral ions at a much faster rate than they could in a less aerated environment. The plant can then channel this abundance of resources directly into producing lush leaves, strong stems, and eventually plentiful fruit. This constant, optimal supply of water, nutrients, and oxygen creates the perfect trifecta for vigorous plant development. The roots do not have to waste energy growing long and searching for resources. Everything they need is delivered directly to them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is why plants in a DWC system can grow so much larger and faster than their soil-grown counterparts. It is not uncommon for home growers to witness visible daily changes in their plants. A small lettuce seedling can transform into a full harvestable head in a matter of weeks, and a pepper plant can develop a massive, intricate root system that fills the entire bucket. This method is so effective, in fact, that it forms the technological backbone of many popular commercial countertop smart gardens, such as the AeroGarden. These popular devices are essentially just small, aesthetically pleasing DWC systems, coupled with a built-in light and automated controls. By building your own simple DWC bucket, you are tapping into the very same powerful horticultural principles that these expensive gadgets use. You can achieve the same, if not better, results, often with larger yields at a fraction of the cost, and with the added satisfaction of having built your very own highly effective hydroponic garden from scratch. Building your own deep water culture system is a straightforward and rewarding project that requires only a handful of easily accessible components. The heart of your system will be a 5-gallon, food-safe bucket with a lid. It is crucial that the bucket is opaque to block out all light, which will prevent the growth of algae in your nutrient solution. You will also need a net pot. A 6-inch size is a good versatile choice, a small aquarium air pump, some silicone airline tubing, and an air stone. These items are all inexpensive and can be found at any pet store or online. Finally, you will need your hydroponic nutrients and a starter plant. Your first step is to modify the bucket lid to hold the net pot. Simply place your net pot upside down in the center of the lid and trace around its circumference with a marker. Then, using a utility knife or a hole saw drill bit, carefully cut out the circle you have drawn. The goal is to have the net pot fit snugly into the hole, with its lip resting securely on top of the lid. Next, you will need to create a small hole or notch on the side of the lid or the top edge of the bucket for the airline tubing to pass through, so you can close the lid tightly without pinching the tube. Now, you can assemble the aeration components. Cut a length of airline tubing long enough to reach from where your air pump will sit down to the bottom of the bucket. Attach one end of the tubing to the air stone and the other end to the outlet on your air pump. Place the bucket, ensuring the roots are dangling down towards the water. Plug in your air pump and you will immediately see the system come to life with a satisfying stream of bubbles. Place your new DWC system under a grow light or in a sunny spot and get ready to witness some truly impressive growth. The deep water culture system is incredibly versatile and can support a much wider variety of plants compared to the passive Kratky or Wick methods. Because of the constant and abundant supply of oxygen and nutrients, DWC is capable of sustaining larger, hungrier and faster-growing plants. Leafy greens, which already do well in simpler systems, absolutely explode with growth in a DWC bucket. You can grow enormous, crisp heads of lettuce, lush bunches of kale, and towering stalks of Swiss chard in record time. For anyone looking to maximize their salad green production, DWC is an unbeatable choice. This method also excels at growing many common herbs. While herbs grow well in Kratky jars, they become much larger and more productive in a DWC setup. Basil, in particular, is known to turn into a large, dense bush in a bubbler bucket, providing you with a seemingly endless supply for pesto and other culinary creations. Mint, oregano, and parsley also flourish, developing extensive root systems and robust top growth. The high oxygen environment allows these plants to reach their full genetic potential, often surprising growers with their sheer size and vigor compared to their soil-grown relatives. Where DWC truly shines, however, is in its ability to support larger, fruiting plants that would struggle in a passive system. This is where you can move beyond salads and herbs and start growing more substantial crops. Many home growers have great success cultivating pepper plants, from sweet bell peppers to fiery hot chilies. The constant nutrient flow supports the plant through its demanding flowering and fruiting cycles. Smaller, determinate varieties of tomatoes also thrive in DWC buckets, producing generous clusters of fruit. Even some vining plants like cucumbers and beans can be grown, provided you give them a trellis or other support structure to climb on. While the possibilities are vast, it is important to be realistic about the size of your setup. A single 5-gallon bucket is perfect for one medium to large plant such as a pepper or a tomato plant or a few smaller plants like lettuce. It is generally not suitable for gigantic plants like indeterminate heirloom tomatoes or large melons, which have massive root systems and water requirements. By choosing plants that are a good match for the scale of your system, like leafy greens, herbs, peppers and bush tomatoes, you are setting yourself up for an incredibly rewarding and productive gardening experience, with harvests that will impress both you and your friends. While a deep water culture system is relatively low maintenance, a few regular check-ins will ensure your plants stay healthy and your growth remains, well, spectacular. The most important task is managing your nutrient solution. Because plants in DWC grow so quickly, they consume water and nutrients at a rapid pace. You will need to monitor the water level in your bucket and top it off as needed with a half-strength nutrient solution to prevent it from getting too concentrated. It is also highly recommended to completely change out the reservoir with a fresh batch of nutrient solution every 1 to 2 weeks. This prevents the buildup of waste salts and ensures a perfectly balanced diet. Controlling the environment within your bucket is also key to long-term success. The ideal temperature for most hydroponic nutrient solutions is between 65 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. If the water gets too warm, its ability to hold dissolved oxygen decreases, and it creates a breeding ground for harmful pathogens like root rot. Try to keep your DWC buckets in a relatively cool location, away from direct heat sources. If you live in a very warm climate, you can find creative ways to cool the reservoir, such as painting the bucket white to reflect heat, or even floating a frozen water bottle in the solution on particularly hot days. Another important parameter to monitor is the pH of your nutrient solution. The pH level determines how well your plant can absorb different nutrients. For most plants grown hydroponically, the ideal pH range is between 5.5 and 6.5. You can easily test your solution using inexpensive pH testing drops or a digital meter. If the pH drifts outside this optimal range, your plant may start to show signs of nutrient deficiencies, even if the nutrients are present in the water. You can adjust the pH using commercially available pH up or pH down solutions, adding just a few drops at a time until you are back in the target zone. Finally, practice good system hygiene. Between grows, it is essential to thoroughly clean and sterilize your bucket, lid, net pot, and air stone to prevent any diseases from carrying over to your next crop. A simple scrub with soap and water, followed by a soak in a diluted bleach or hydrogen peroxide solution, will kill any lingering pathogens. By regularly changing your nutrient solution, monitoring temperature and pH, and keeping your equipment clean, you are creating a stable and pristine environment. This consistent care is the secret to preventing problems before they start and enjoying multiple, bountiful harvests from your highly productive bubbling bucket system. Now that we have explored the 3 most accessible hydroponic setups, it is time to discuss the final essential ingredients for your gardening success. The first, and perhaps most vital, is light. Light is the absolute lifeblood of every plant, the energy source that fuels the magical process of photosynthesis, turning water and carbon dioxide into growth. Whether your garden is rooted in soil or floating in water, this fundamental need remains the same. A plant without adequate light simply cannot thrive. It is the engine that drives all the systems we have discussed, from the simple Kratky jar to the bubbling DWC bucket, and providing it is key to a bountiful harvest. For many aspiring hydroponic gardeners, the simplest source of light is the sun itself. If you are fortunate enough to have a bright south-facing window that receives 6 or more hours of direct sunlight each day, you may have the perfect spot for your new garden. Many leafy greens and herbs such as lettuce, spinach and basil can do wonderfully well basking in this natural light. Placing your Kratky jars or wick planters on a sunny windowsill is a beautiful, energy-free way to get started. You can watch as your plants follow the sun's path across the sky, a quiet and reassuring daily rhythm in your home. However, many of us live in homes or apartments with less than ideal sun exposure, or we face the short, gloomy days of winter. This is where modern technology comes to our rescue in the form of LED grow lights. The wonderful news is that today's grow lights are nothing like the bulky, hot and energy-guzzling lamps of the past. Modern LED lights are incredibly energy efficient, they run cool to the touch, they are surprisingly inexpensive, and they are often as simple to set up as plugging in a standard desk lamp. They provide a full spectrum of light, perfectly mimicking the sun's rays to give your plants everything they need. A small dedicated LED panel or even a single grow bulb of about 20 to 40 watts is more than enough to support a couple of plants. Many beginner-friendly kits even come with integrated or clip-on lights, taking all the guesswork out of the equation. You can also find grow bulbs that are designed to fit into any regular lamp fixture, allowing you to discreetly turn a corner of your room into a productive garden. Imagine a gentle, pleasant glow in the evening. That is the quiet hum of your indoor garden, diligently photosynthesizing, growing fresh food for you year-round. A small investment in lighting truly pays for itself with perpetual delicious harvests. The second essential ingredient for your hydroponic garden is food. In a traditional garden, plants would draw their vitamins and minerals from the organic matter and decomposed rock in the soil. In our soil-free systems, we must provide this nutrition directly. We do this by adding a specially formulated hydroponic nutrient solution to the water. This might sound technical or intimidating, like a chemistry experiment, but the reality is wonderfully straightforward. It is a simple and crucial step that turns plain water into a perfectly balanced meal for your plants, ensuring they have everything they need to grow strong and healthy. Most hydroponic nutrients designed for home growers come conveniently pre-mixed in liquid or powder form with clear, easy-to-follow instructions printed right on the label. For beginners, the simplest options are one-part or two-part nutrient solutions. A one-part formula is an all-in-one mix that you simply add to your water. A two-part system, like the popular General Hydroponics Flora series, typically involves 2 bottles that you mix into the water in equal measure. In either case, the process is as simple as measuring out a small amount, perhaps a teaspoon or 2 per gallon, and stirring it in. It is essentially like making a multivitamin smoothie for your plants. It is very important to always follow the dilution instructions provided by the manufacturer. A common mistake for enthusiastic beginners is to think that more food will lead to faster growth. However, a nutrient solution that is too concentrated can cause nutrient burn, which can damage the plant's roots and scorch its leaves. A little truly goes a long way, and it is always better to start with a slightly weaker solution if you are unsure. A single small bottle of nutrient concentrate will last you through many harvests, making it a very cost-effective way to feed your garden for months or even years. Over time, you will learn to read your plants and understand what they need. If the leaves start to look pale or yellow, it might be a sign that they are hungry and could use a slightly stronger nutrient solution. If you see white, crusty salt residue building up on your growing medium, it may indicate the solution is a bit too strong. But countless beginners have achieved incredible, bountiful harvests by simply sticking to the basic feeding schedule recommended on the nutrient bottle. This simple act of feeding your plants is the final key that unlocks the door to a successful and deeply rewarding hydroponic experience. And so we conclude our gentle expedition through the world of simple, accessible hydroponics. We have journeyed from a peaceful, living jar of green on a sunlit windowsill to the quietly diligent wicking planter that waters itself, and finally to the cheerful bubble bucket, humming with the promise of rapid growth. These are the new gardens of our modern age, designed for our modern lives. They are systems that ask for very little from us in terms of effort, space, or time, yet they give back so much in return: fresh food, natural beauty, and a profound sense of accomplishment that nourishes the spirit. Imagine, in just a matter of weeks from now, snipping fresh, crisp lettuce or fragrant basil that you grew entirely in water. Picture yourself marveling at the intricate web of clean, white roots, a testament to how nature can adapt and flourish within the nurturing environment you have created. It is a powerful reminder that life will thrive wherever it finds sustenance and care. In your own home, with just a few simple tools and a bit of knowledge, you can become that nurturing force. Hydroponics is not just for scientists in labs or large-scale commercial farmers. It is for all of us, especially grown-ups, who thought their chance to cultivate a green thumb had long since passed. This is your opportunity to rediscover the simple, elemental joy of growing things. It is a chance to reconnect with the food you eat and the natural cycles of life, but with a clarity and simplicity. Backing the odds of success firmly in your favor. These methods are not just theoretical, they are tried, tested, and true. Countless beginners have found success with these very systems, and their effectiveness is consistently affirmed by horticultural experts and scientific research. Now it's your turn to join this quiet green revolution, to bring a piece of the garden inside, and to begin your own hydroponic journey, one healthy homegrown leaf at a time. The adventure is just beginning. We sincerely hope this journey has demystified hydroponics and inspired you to give this wonderful hobby a try. The path to growing your own fresh produce is clearer and more accessible than ever before. You now have the knowledge and the confidence to take the first step. The satisfaction that comes from harvesting and eating something you have grown yourself with your own hands is a truly special and empowering experience. It connects you to your food in a way that is simply not possible when buying produce from a store. Now is the perfect time to start. If you found this guide helpful and inspiring, we would be so grateful if you would like this video and consider subscribing to our channel. We are dedicated to creating more calm, in-depth explorations of modern gardening, DIY projects, and simple living for grown-ups. We would be delighted to have you join our community for future adventures. And to help you get started right away, please do not forget to check the description below. There you will find a link to download our free beginner's hydroponics setup guide, which is packed with checklists, tips, and tricks to ensure your first grow is a success. In the description, you will also find a curated list of links to all the recommended kits, tools, and nutrients we mentioned today. We have taken the time to research these products to ensure they are affordable, reliable, and perfect for beginners, so you can dive into your first project with and we are thrilled to be a part of it with you. Thank you so much for watching. We wish you the very best of luck. Happy gardening.